Greetings. This video will be a prelude to a multi-video topic, which is the topic of electric vehicles and the disruption caused to multiple sectors of the economy by the growth of electric vehicles and the displacement of internal combustion engine vehicles with electric vehicles. So that will be a multi-video topic. But for now, we're going to do a quick update on what the sales trends are and how we're getting very close to a tipping point in electric vehicle sales, and also what are the implications of a tipping point like that. So we visit an article I wrote in December of 2018, and this will be in the description box below, and it talks about the advances in battery technology. So I click on this chart, which is from The Economist, and The Economist itself got it from the sources listed below the chart. Focus on the right-hand side over here. There are two exponential trends working in favor of batteries. One is the battery cost, dollars per kilowatt hour, and that has been declining since 2008, but it's still not cheap enough to create mass volume of electric vehicles. And since the vertical axis is linear, the fact that the cost is dropping exponentially looks like a flattening of the curve, but it really is not a flattening of the curve. It is a continual exponential drop. And by 2022, we're now getting to only $100 per kilowatt hour in battery density. That is a huge factor in the utility of electric vehicles. The size of battery that can go into a car can take you further and further from when it's fully charged. Now, if you see this brown line on the right-hand side, that is the even more important line, which is battery energy density, watt hours per liter. That is also rising exponentially. It went from just 100 in 2008 to 400 by 2022 as an estimation. We're almost there. And that is a quadrupling. That is incredible. That shows how much battery charge, as measured in watt hours, can fit into a certain volume of battery size. So because of both cost reduction and improvement in the energy density of batteries, what may have seemed like a very expensive price for electric cars just a few years ago is very quickly getting to a mass market consumer price, and to the point when it is overall cheaper than a large portion of the internal combustion engine vehicles that exist in the world today. And that tipping point is already being reflected. Let's see where the sales trajectory of electric vehicles for the entire world, because all these numbers have to be looked at on a worldwide basis, not a US only basis or specific to any one country or continent. Let's see what the most recent sales trends are. This is the sales data through April 2021 from the InsideEVs.com website. This will also be in the description box below. And this is the sales data, and I'm going to click on this chart. This chart may not be the easiest to interpret for anyone who's not a mathematical wizard, but let me walk you through it. In the horizontal row that I'm pointing to over here are color bars that represent individual years, 2016 through 2021. Automobile sales have certain seasonality to them, and that is canceled out by showing individual months of each year. Now, in the bars here, you can see each year as a bar for that particular month. January 2016, January 2017, and so forth, all the way through to January 2021. And in that way, April through to 2021. For May through December, we only have 2020 data, not 2021 data yet, of course. And therefore, you can see the general growth by smoothing out the seasonality. From 2016 to 2021, there is this big growth, maybe 10x or so. In March, the same thing. This eliminates any distortion due to coronavirus pandemic or anything like that. So even though oil prices have been inexpensive since 2015, for reasons I've spoken about on other videos in this channel, you can see the growth in electrical vehicle sales worldwide. Now, the United States is actually the least suitable country for electric vehicles for three reasons. Gasoline is still relatively inexpensive in the United States. The distances driven are longer, and the United States has 110 volt electrical outlets rather than 220 volt electrical outlets, which charge the car faster. But most of the rest of the world, especially Europe and Asia, have none of those three factors and therefore are much more suitable for electrical vehicles. In most of Europe and East Asia, gasoline is closer to $7 a gallon, give or take. But the red bars show you how much growth there is in 2021 of electrical vehicles, and this number comprises 5 to 6% of all vehicle sales. That is profound. 5 to 6% of all car sales are now electric vehicle sales, either fully electric or hybrid electric plug-in vehicle sales. Not just the hybrid that you don't plug in that has some incremental benefit relative to a pure internal combustion engine car, but a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle that has what is often hundreds of miles per gallon if calculated that way. This is very profound. We're very close to the tipping point over here. The tipping point, as I've often said, is when we get well past 6%, 6, 7, 8% of all new car sales are electrical. That's when the entire internal combustion engine complex gets repriced downwards. And all these used cars, remember, there's 15 years worth of internal combustion engine cars out there in the world. And a lot of used car prices are going to drop dramatically because there isn't that much demand for them, since more and more of the new cars are electrical. And I will show some data around that. But this video is pretty short and was only meant to update you on the sales trajectory of electric vehicles, because something very dramatic is happening, and this is now the next big technological disruption that is going on in the world and is happening in front of our eyes as we speak, despite the skepticism among some people in the US, a lot of conservative Republicans, for example, who still think EVs are no better than they were in 2010, and they tend to be behind the times in terms of such developments in most cases. So with that, we will conclude this video. Remember, this is the first of a series of many, because electric vehicles are a very complicated topic, but we shall continue to revisit this trend and look at the progress in sales data as well. If you found this content informative, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, and thank you very much for watching.